Grace and Lorna Epp in studio talking about Schmauntfat. This all started from a social media post that I posted earlier in the week asking for Schmauntfat recipes and whether or not adding flour is cheating, because some people will say that using flour to thicken the Schmauntfat is cheating, according to, being a true Mennonite. So, Lindsay, why don't we start with you? You were the first one I saw that mentioned Bisto, which I had no idea what this is. How do you make your Schmauntfat?
Well, I used to use flour, but then my very first time I ever made gravy was for my husband at the time, and it turned out like glue. And he literally looked at it, said, "This could be on Fear Factor." And I was so hurt. I didn't make cream gravy for years, but he's right. You could have bottled it up. It was like glue. So I was traumatized from using flour, and my Auntie Dinah actually gave us this recipe, and I used that and no longer have glue-like cream gravy.
Okay, so you have the recipe in front of you, and this is the one I mentioned earlier. Looks like it's been tortured through generations, but I think it just got wet.
It just got wet this morning, yeah.
So do you mind running through it?
Yeah. So I brown a quarter cup of butter till it's almost like brown. Add whatever fat you want, because when I cook, more is more, not less is more. So more calories, more fat. I love it.
Love that.
Just pour whipping cream in there. Don't measure. Just more is more. Then I put 2 tablespoons of that Bisto, however you say it, in hot water. Add that and salt and pepper till it's thick. That's basically it.
That actually sounds pretty simple, but delicious. I had no idea that Bisto existed. Gravy mix. You can just buy that at any grocery store. That's so cool. Lorna, you have a different technique when it comes to making Schmauntfat, and you've brought some in as well. So tell me, how do you make yours?
That gravy or that Schmauntfat is made very simply. I just boil the cream. Or actually, what I will say, I simmer it. Because if you have to be careful that when you boil cream that it doesn't rise over the top and make a mess on your stove.
Yes.
So you got to keep the temperature on low.
Okay.
And then you just pour a cup of cream into your fry pan, add your salt and pepper, and let it be.
Okay, so it's cream. No, you start with the butter. You start with the cream?
No butter. Just salt. Just cream.
Just cream, salt, and pepper.
Because what happens is it's a scientific thing, right?
Okay.
So the water that's in the cream kind of evaporates.
Yes.
And so you've got the liquid gold. So all the fat stays and it coagulates and thickens nicely. And you can actually use that to thicken other soups and gravies and dishes.
Sometimes I forget that cream is a fat because it just doesn't seem like it should be. Someone else had posted on Facebook like yesterday on that same post and said a similar recipe to yours, and I said, no fat? But I guess this is fat.
That is fat. That's why it tastes so good.
That's why it's so good. Well, we are going to take some time to eat a little bit of this Schmauntfat by the spoonful. Even if it's cold, doesn't matter.
I brought you cold gravy.
I love cold gravy. Well, Lorna brought in potatoes too, so we'll let you know how it goes after this. What's a roux?
A roux is butter and flour cooked, and it's a French word. I don't know. It has to do with like flour and butter, and it thickens sauces.
What's the matter with roux?
I don't know. What's the matter with roux?